Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can cut this beautiful palazzo jumpsuit with a deep back. So if it's something you would love to learn, do well to watch to the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. And if you are coming across my video for the very first time, do well to hit on the subscribe button. Subscription is free, and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop new videos. So let's go right into it. The first thing is to take our basic measurements. So the top here is my starting point and my shoulder point. I'm going to come down to mark my bust point. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches, and I'm going to mark that all the way to get a straight line like this. Then from the top of the paper I'm going to come down to mark my under bust line, and from my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches. I'm going to take the point all the way to get a straight line, and I'm going to extend that point across this way. Then the next one is my waist measurement, and from my shoulder to my waist in front is 16.5 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way, and I will extend the point across. So we are only drafting the upper bodice, the half length. So this is my waistline, my under bust and my bust line. I'm going to come to the top here and divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5 inches. I'm going to mark that here. At that point I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. I'll connect from my shoulder slope into the neck width. My neck depth, I'm going to mark 3 inches as well. I'm going to mark 3 here, and I'm going to connect from the neck width all the way to the 3 inch. The next thing is to mark our arm length. How to get your arm length? Divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches. I got 7. I'm going to extend the point across this way. To get a straight line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements on this line here, and I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked, and this line now become our chest line. I'll come here and divide this into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint, and the middle of 7 is 3.5. At that point I'll go in by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. Then I'm going to connect all the way to the shoulder slope with my curve rule. The next thing is to mark out our dart, and how to do that: divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, and I got 3.5. I'm going to mark the 3.5 on the bust line, on the under bust line, and on the waistline. I'll go ahead and connect this point together with a straight line. So coming to the under bust line, I'm going to mark 0.75 on both sides of this line. If you're a plus size, you can mark 1 inch or 1.5 inch on the center front and 2 inch on the side front. I'm going to mark the 0.5 inch on the waistline as well on the both sides of this straight line. I'll connect the point together like this. So from the bust line, I'm going to come down by 1 inch here, and I'm going to connect the 2 points together like this with my curve rule. So I'm going to take that line all the way to the midpoint of our armhole with my curve rule this way. So here I'm going to come down by 1 inch. We're going to tighten our bust here by 1 inch. I came down by 1 inch from that line. I'll connect that point back into the line like this. So the 1 inch we came down here, I'm going to replace it here so we don't have any shortage. Go out from that point by 1 inch also. Then I'll reconnect my armhole this way. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust line. This dart we took here, I'm going to replace the 1 inch here. I'll come to the under bust, divide my under bust by 4. I'm going to replace the dart we took there. My waist measurement, I'm going to insert it here and replace the dart we took there as well. I'll go ahead and connect the point together like this. So I'll go ahead and add my sewing allowance of 1 inch to all the measurements. So the next thing is to mark our bust dart, and to mark your bust dart is the difference you have from the shoulder line to your waistline in front and back, and the difference for mine is 1.5 inches. I came down from the bust line by 1.5 inches and I connected back to the bust line. I'm going to tear my bust dart open this way before I cut the pattern paper. So if I have any distorted line, I'm going to adjust it here. So before you cut out your pattern paper, make sure you close down your dart, and I'm going to outline my measurement this way. And this is basically it for the front pattern. I'll go ahead and cut it out. When cutting, please make sure your bust dart is closed. Close it down before you cut your pattern paper out. And this is it for the front pattern. We are going to cut this ×2, and we are going to cut this other part on fold. We are going to keep this aside now. For the back pattern, I've already gone ahead to rule out the necessary measurement, and this is my zipper allowance. I'll mark my bust point, and from my shoulder to my waist at the back is 15 inches. I'm going to come here to mark my shoulder divided by 2, and I'm going to mark my shoulder slope of 1 inch. I'll mark my neck depth of 3 inch. I'm going to connect from the shoulder slope into the neck width. We are basically repeating what we did on the front pattern. I'm going to mark my arm length here. I'll extend that point across. And to get a straight line, I'm going to insert my shoulder measurement here on this line, and then I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to the point we just marked on the chest line. I'm going to come to the arm length here to get the midpoint, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At that point, I'll come in by ½ inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, and I'll connect the points together. We are basically repeating what we did on the front pattern. I'm going to mark my darts here. I'm going to mark 3.5 on the waist and on the bust line. I'll connect them together like this. On the waistline, I'm going to mark ½ inch on both sides of this line, and I'm going to connect from the bust line all the way to the ½ inch. So the next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll mark my waist measurement and replace the dart with 2. I'll connect the point together this way. I'll add my sewing allowance of 1 inch, just the way we did for the front pattern, and I'll connect the point together like this. So for our back neck depth, it depends on how deep you want it. You can take it all the way to your under bust line, but I'm going to stop like ½ inch before my bust line this way. This is how deep I want it, but you can take it as deep as you want. And I'm going to use my curve rule to just connect this way. And this is basically it for the neck depth. Then for our zipper allowance here, I'm going to mark ½ inch here and reconnect it back slantly. This is to prevent our zip from bulging after sewing. We always do this, so we should be familiar with this by now. And this is basically it for the back pattern. I'll go ahead, I'll outline my line so it's more visible for us to see, and I'll cut it out. If you have watched to this point and you have not yet subscribed, please do where to subscribe. Subscription is totally free. And do where to turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop new videos, so you don't miss out on anything we do on this channel. Thank you so much for doing that. So this is the back pattern, and this pattern is on fold. When you open it up, this is how it's going to be. So if you are making use of a stretchy fabric, there's no need for you to add your zipper allowance, and this is how it's going to look like. So this is all for today's tutorial. I can see the both pattern paper here, the back and the front. Thank you for staying tuned, and see you in my next video.